언제든지 내 모습 매직 단 한 번에 내가 잡아 절대 기죽지 않지 펴펴 네가 뭘 알아 견딜 수 없어 원해도 원하는 게 얼굴에 보여 I'm troubling you wanting it I'm so cold When I move that way you gon' be so blown I'm the realest in the game Said I'm on fire with the blade You're about to hear my name ringing in your head like whoa So keep your eyes on me now 무엇을 보던 좋아할 거야 We're so tough Let's get it show you out Can you feel the rush now Ain't nobody bringing us down 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 They could try but we gonna wear the crown You could go another round 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 Wish you luck but you're not bringing us down Go hard till we get it we go hard We're so in it we pop stars Only winning now Ain't nobody bringing us down 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 난 멈추지 않아 we go hard we pop stars Ain't nobody bringing us down 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 They could try but we gonna wear the crown You could go another round 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 Wish you luck but you're not bringing us down Go hard till we get it we go hard We're so in it we pop stars Only winning now Ain't nobody bringing us down 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 Legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed far, reaching greatness, relentless, you survive. They never lose hope when everything's cold and the fighting's near. It's deep in their bones, they'll rot into smoke when the fire is fierce. No, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never
Hello and welcome to the final round of the group stage of the Collegiate Championship 2019 Division 2. I am David Whimsy Wims. Alongside me is Rob. I will dominate Doyle, and we have a matchup between third and fourth place in the group stage. Trinity Force and LYIT Gaming here. Both these teams needing a crucial result in the last round to get themselves in the playoffs.
Yeah, and straight out the gate, our first ban today we cannot see because of the new spectator client.
Oh
Um,
no, it's Trinity. So actually, just a quick ruling thing. Trinity have to miss their first two bans because one of their players was late to lobby, and because they passed 10-minute mark and not the full team wasn't in lobby, they are required to skip their first two bans, which will put them at a pretty nasty disadvantage in game one. Meanwhile, LYT wasting no time taking away the Morgana. Pretty champion is seeing a bit more play in solo queue, especially at these kind of lower elos since the changes along with that Kelly word.
yeah, well, Morgana, I believe, is very good at the minute just because obviously the Black Shield can remove any sort of CC, can keep that 80 carry alive, stop them being locked down. Morgana also has her lockdown herself. The pull, again, probably just for a bit of lane presence, move them into a certain area. But yeah, Morgana, I can understand the ban there. The Cassiopeia ban, Cassio received a couple of buffs. So yeah, I can see that. And the Jin,
The the Jin, I think, is more of a targeted one
yeah, I would
against
agree with the target ban.
Oxim. Yeah, not really. I think the Talia as well is definitely a targeted ban against
Yeah,
Raytex.
the,
Has been bringing it out in a little bit to success. And while the Cassiopeia was denied, looks as if Count Dunkula is still going to get his hands on a big team fighting mid laner with that Vladimir.
again, Vladimir can be a flex pick for the top lane for Neo Lake. We need to hold with Lysandra answer, but and let's see, Jax, the solo queue hero Jax has made an appearance.
Yeah, Jacked. It's something you could definitely make work if you have a good laning phase. Also, technically can be flexed to the jungle. That may be what LYT actually look for win this one. But the Heck Room is open for Raytex. A classic pocket pick of his, and certainly something he'll be happy to get his hands on. Looks as if with their first two picks, Trinity going big for that team fight.
Yeah, Raid X, very well known on this hacker room pick. No surprises he's locked it in because it's been left open. But I wonder, have LYT maybe got a counter for this? What would you be thinking?
I would hope so if they chose to leave it open over some of the other picks available. But there's a lot of champions you have to consider. We saw the Cassiopeia, the Talia band away. Also going for the Nami for NASA, so making sure that their support priority is in there. But not surprised to see the Sivir come out. I think another one of Oxim's big champions in that bottom lane. With the Jin band, you have to be careful of your AD carry getting banned out. And also contributes to the team fight a little bit against the one that Trinity's driving.
Yeah, I really like the Sivir here at the minute, simply because if the hack room tries to jump on, she can spell shield, get that engage away. Again, everybody knows the 6 item Sivir win condition.
Mm.
Yeah, she gets them items, she hits on the hunt, and the entire team runs at you. Especially with the likes of paired with the Jax and Lysandra running at you,
Yeah.
it'd be quite scary for Faba Faba.
Yeah, he's gonna have to see what they want to go for in the lane to go alongside that Nami. But second round of bans coming in. Maokai, the first denial with Trinity, still yet to lock in that top laner unless they do decide to flex the Vladimir to that top side or even the Hecarim if they want to get really fancy up there. The Leona was the first response. That's the Urgot actually. So two bans towards this top lane against New Alaic. Urgot being changed on this patch and LYIT not really wanting to go up against something like that in the top lane.
Yeah, well, OK Boomer has been known to play Sejuani quite a lot. I would say he will still go fall back onto the Vi, another pick he likes to play. He likes to play them really hard engaged champions to make them plays to get the team set up. And we have
Ooh.
the Shen. So
So
it is in fact a Jax jungle. Or it could
yeah,
be a Shen support. It could be a Shen support. Let's hold fire on that.
it, yeah, it could. That would be a nice flex to kind of finish things off. But the Shed, in any case, is denial against New Alec may put him on that Shogath with these sets of bans, or he could go for something like he's played the Poppy and the Jace previously in the competition, although not to the best of success. The Cho'Gath something he's a bit more comfortable with, and he will go with alongside the Tristana in the bottom lane. A scaling AD carry to maybe match some of the scaling on the other side, and just a champion that in general is seeing a bit of play across all levels.
See,
So,
sorry about that.
no worries. So, last pick
Is that
coming in
better
here is going to
now?
be the
Testing.
Rakan in the
Oh,
bottom
and
lane.
it's the
I think
Rakan.
the
So
mic's
it is the
okay.
Shen into the Cho'Gath. It is the Jax jungle.
Yeah. So going with kind of where we would have expected the champions to be going as soon as we saw that locked in. I like the Shen takeaway, just in terms of the composition and what it denies Trinity as well, because we know Trinity really like playing towards that bottom side using the globals. Now they have access to one less with the Shen actually going over to LYIT.
Yeah, I really really like both team comps. I honestly, if it goes to the later stages of the game, I would probably be giving it to Trinity Force Meme, just because of the Vladimir. Like I was watching LCK and the Vladimir, like late game now, he is just so strong, and I'm starting to see him creep up a little more in solo queue. And we all know Cho'Gath gets incredibly beefy, and then Red Axe on his pocket pick hacker him. Nami to keep Tristana safe. I don't know. I really like their team comp.
Yeah, it's very much a comp that can fight pretty well and has something to do in these fights at all stages of the game, especially if things like the Hecarim get going, if the Vladimir can transition to that mid game really nicely. I think they have a few options, but their opponents no slouches in that regard, and I think there's a few fancy options. They have a split push potential on anyone they want, really. They can send the Shen to a side lane, Jax, Lissandra, probably going to go up the two solo laners, but still, they can obviously warp that depending on who's strong. And then they also have the potential to get a nice team fight off if Sivir can stay alive for long enough at these late stages and pump out those AoE crits.
Yeah, I agree. But as it could be a very situational fight, especially like the win condition to me is the Sivir. Like, well, Sivir and Jax, because they both put out amazing DPS in the later stages. Lissandra's strong early to mid, but late game I feel she's more utility. Again with the Rakan, the Shen, all utility. So if the Hecarim can find his way onto the Sivir or the Lissandra, then a team fight could go south. It really will just depend on which way these guys want to play this game out.
Yeah, certainly. I think execution as well is it's always a key factor, but especially when the team fights can be so weighted on a knife's edge, and also execution of the early game as well. I think the jungle matchup between Raytex and OK Boomer is one of the key matchups on the map in terms of how important both players are to their teams. And Hecarim versus Jax, likely to be an interesting one. How do you see that matchup particularly playing out?
The honestly, I would say it all comes down to lane help more than anything. The one lane I really want to keep my eye on though is this bot side. As we all know, Trinity like to play through their bot side, make the plays happen early, get some early plates. So I would really like to keep an eye on that, especially pre-level 6 before Shen get access to that. I forgot the name of it.
Side
Well, it's
United?
Ultimate Stand United. Yes, thank you very much. Brain fart. Yeah, when Shen gets access to his ultimate and makes a play bot side under the Rakan. So I would like to see some early game action. I know they're a scaling team, but I would like to see some early game action just to try and sway it for them.
Yeah, definitely. I think the mid lane as well is something to keep an eye on if you are looking at early action, because something Lissandra can do obviously very well is to get that push going and then look to make plays in those side lanes. But Count Dunkula, one of the star players of that Trinity team, may make it tough for Super Xeon on the Lissandra to really execute that pick the way that he would like. So may need a little bit of
I could jungler mid more respectfully, and then give Supa the chance to start roaming to them side lanes. I would imagine, again, it will be all bot side action for the first while. I could be wrong, and they could play towards the top side to try and get the Cho'Gath ahead of the Shen, so just to sort of muscle him out a bit more. But it will just come down to execution. Maybe a couple of cheesy level 1 invades. Who knows? But we're about to find out as we're just loading into the rift now.
Yeah, getting ready for the first game of this best of 2 between Trinity Force and LYIT Gaming. These two teams, both fairly well experienced within the collegiate scene, specifically with these rosters. I know that the core of the Trinity team and LYIT team that played in last year's championship are back here. Trinity, obviously the reigning champions, but have had a bit of a tougher time since we last saw them on stream, losing 2-0 to Maynooth, only getting a draw with UCDA in last week's game. So they're not guaranteed through. Neither of these teams are actually guaranteed through. So these teams certainly will need to get, I think, we were looking at the bracket beforehand. I think a draw is enough to likely see either team through. So a draw likely to see either team through, but a 2-0 win for either team will guarantee that they make the playoffs and probably give them pretty high seeding. So all to play for here in this match.
Yeah,
And now we are onto the rift, ready for this game.
Can't dunk Gila flashing his mastery.
he likes to do that, especially on champions like Vladimir, which he, I suppose, plays into the username a little bit.
Yeah, just giving the spectators a little bit of a show at home. And it just looks like the standard 5-man spread so far. No sort of level 1 antics.
Yeah, no shenanigans. Neither team wanting to risk it. I'm not sure which team would have necessarily had a big advantage level 1. Potentially there's the Rakan, I think, that can make things a bit tricky. But the Rakan actually a pick that surprised me a little bit because it's not something that we see a ton of right now, not in the professional meta. But Lemon Eater obviously very comfortable on the champion, and thinking that they can make it work here will factor into the heavy engage that LYIT have drafted. So certainly going to try show us in this case that he can make the pick work, but I'm curious to see how it fares in the 2v2 as well against NASA's Nami and Faba's Tristana.
Yeah, well, we all know Rakan got absolutely slaughtered with a couple of nerfs. They tried to give him a wee bit of a buff, but it didn't really make much happen. Into a Nami on the early levels, as any bottom lane player knows, can be extremely oppressive. So it would really just depend on how the bubbles land, I would suppose. If she can hit some bubbles, lock that Rakan down early. And in the top side, we're just sort of having some wet noodle fighting. But I want to talk a little more about the jungler pathing here. Jack's doing a full side top clear, where Hakram is just going for the standard clear. Both junglers look like they're going to meet up at the top side. Do you think we're going to see a little bit of action up here?
Well, we always want a little bit of action, but these players looking to get some crab for their dinner potentially, but I'd be curious to see how that trade actually fares out between both. The Jacks will get to the Scuttle Crab first, but he has been spotted by Awards, so Raytex knows what's up, and you can already see New Lake sneaking down here. The priority was in both solo lanes, and OK Boomer is going to be in a lot of trouble. Spites away the crab, has to flash away. Raytex looking to follow with the ghost, but that flash was actually in the perfect position. OK Boomer stepping back, only to take a little bit more damage now, and Raytex looking to follow. OK Boomer, he keeps, as soon as he looks safe, he steps back in for the trade, but he does not lose his life. Takes a bit more damage than he needs to, but at the end of the day, he's going to be okay.
Yeah, fair enough. The flash was blue, but now the Hakram has moved on to his Raptors, and we all know that is a serious amount of experience. Strangely, neither of them have took bottom side crab, and Hakram isn't even looking to go towards it. If he had vision on him taking top side crab, he must know that the bot side crab is still free. Maybe he's looking to make something happen in the mid lane or top lane here.
see.
Bit of trading in the bot side here, a lot of trading in the bot side here.
Yeah, Faba taking quite a bit of damage from that trade, and we may see some of the tools available for this LYT duo lane. Spell Shield will negate a lot of the crowd control coming through, and once that grand entrance lands, that will pretty much set up these trades for Oxum and the Lemon Eater.
Oh yes, without a doubt. Again, it'll all come down to how... Oh, we got another fight in the jungle here. The Jax is getting bullied something awful here.
Ratex seemingly finding him at every corner, and OK Boomer has been harassed for a lot of this early game. Once again, Supazion stepping on over, but Count Dunkula with a lot of the early priority in this mid lane on the Vladimir, and developing a nice farm lead to boot.
Yeah, a very, very nice farm lead indeed. Just over double now, the CS of the Lissandra. Bot lane's getting pushed in. The Jax bullied pretty hard, to be fair. The Shen, he's taking the worst end of these trades. So far, a pretty solid early game. The bot side, the Hakram is there, maybe looking to make something happen.
Ratex still doesn't have the Onslaught of Shadows available, but may be in the good position for a counter gank if OK Boomer does try to pull something off, although right now walking away from that Krug camp, it may take him out of position. However, the Jack's also not feeling it with that lane pushing forward, may be a bit tricky, especially with all summoners up for the Trinity duo lane. So both these jugglers not looking for any gank action in the first 5 minutes of this game, despite meeting quite a few times in the river. That's been the only real action that we've seen so far. Maybe waiting for those level 6 points before either of these teams really get active.
Yeah, I would agree with that. As we can see, Oxum is taking pretty heavy poke. But if you look at the vision coverage of the bot side that is just starting to expire now, they had the entire bot side littered with wards to make sure that Lissandra couldn't get any rooms off to the bot side. It is the ocean. No, not the ocean.
Oh,
never mind.
Yep, there's a gank coming out mid lane, but that Vladimir, pretty tricky customer with that pool available. So he's going to get out just fine. Another trade in the bottom lane, but that Sivir's pretty low on mana, so maybe a bit rougher for Oxum in terms of getting that damage out for the moment in those dual lane trades.
Yeah, again, Oxum just needs to wait for the Nami through the bubble light, get the spell shield to get that mana back to have that push again. The Nami, from what we've seen through our spectator camera, hasn't really threw many bubbles out, just sort of harassing with a W. Oh, and we're going to get onto the Nami. Nice bit of poke.
He goes in for the trade, but that's a lot of the damage that comes in immediately healed off. And once again, the jungler's going to clash. OK Boomer very, very low. Has no flash available. Ratex Pixie has this. First blood. OK Boomer not even safe in his own jungle.
That... I have no words. Like, the Jax is just getting decimated in his own jungle. Great Axe is all over him like a rash. And his lanes both pushed in, so there's nothing really doing.
And now top lane gang coming in as well. Newelek is able to get the kill, will give his life over. Not even a feast stack gain though, so a 1-for-1 under the tower, not maybe as clean as Trinity would have liked.
Yeah, I would still give the advantage to Trinity, as the Hakram will push this wave in and deny him that CS. And as we can see, still in the mid lane, the Vladimir. Look at that CS differential.
Yeah.
That is insane.
This is fairly brutal. We were thinking that LYT would be wanting that Lissandra to get out of the lane early, but has just been bullied around by Count Dunkula. And that's likely facilitating Ratex to try find out this Jackson. Get himself that first blood. Lemon Eater looking to relieve a bit of pressure with the roam in the mid lane, but missing with the grand entrance. Taking an awkward path out potentially, but Count Dunkula's not going to follow. Supazion, though, has been low on mana for so long. Not choosing to back and use the teleport will allow Count Dunkula to just keep complete control of this lane.
Yeah, the Jax needs to get to the mid lane to relieve some of that pressure, to let Lissandra get it back to get some items if she can afford her lost chapter. I don't think she can without a amount of CS. but he needs to do something because that Vladimir is just getting so far ahead.
Yeah.
In the bot side here, again, the Sivir, the Rakan pushing up, and gank tops.
Gank
Good
number
flash.
2 in the top lane. Great flash from Evie, though, to dodge the Hecarim ultimate. Means he will be just fine, although minus a summoner spell.
Yeah, well, I'd blow a summoner spell to get away from a death any day, but again, Red Axe is just everywhere, putting the pressure down. He's in the jungle, he's in the top lane. You know, he is playing the early game. He's playing it out perfectly. I can't fault him. Again, the Jax. I'm not sure about this Jax pick. Like the Hecarim has been ganking everywhere consistently, and he's still got a 10 CS lead over the Jax plus a kill.
Yeah, just able to harass him as much as possible. We saw him stealing away a couple of those early camps, and that may have just put him a step ahead, allowing him to get these ganks off, allowing him to continue to try find OK Boomer. But OK Boomer hanging around the bottom side of the map now. Not sure if he passed by a ward or not. That's actually going up toward the bush. Might have overstepped, but there is the counter gank available for the Hecarim there. And actually, OK Boomer might be in trouble here. Although NASA not going to try land the bubble in that case. Not trying to start anything right now. Trinity just looking to keep it calm on the bottom side of the map rather than try force anything.
Yeah, well, again, why shouldn't they? They're building up a healthy CS lead. No point risking a fight when they don't really have to. It's very smart play, fair enough. It's not flashy and pentakills everywhere, but it's smart play. And that's what I like to see from these players. Again, back into the mid lane, the Lyssandra's caught up a wee bit in CS. It's only double now. But LYIT need to really start forcing things here because they're just slowly but surely. Oh, we got a gank in the top
Could
side
be forcing a gank in the top lane. OK Boomer with a nice side step to dodge the rupture. No flash for the Cho'Gath means he is going down. OK Boomer with the flash at the end, just to make 100% sure, but that does equalize the game at 2 kills apiece.
Yeah. The caster curse, the Jax needs to start doing something. The Jax does something. Oh, he takes a double power shot for that.
Yeah, it's they will be able to push that in and get a couple of plates off, which is what they want here on that top side. Teleport from New Lake, though, will likely stop them from pushing too much further in. So that's a nice little pickup on the top side, but that does not do much to face against the goal deficit that LYT currently facing. They might actually be giving over a couple of kills here, as well as Lemon Eater engaged on the ultimates from Hecarim and Nami come out. They're looking for Oxum at the back, but that doesn't allow time for the Rakan to get away with barely any health left. A neat escape from the Lemon Eater, evading almost certain death there. So it's only the Drake going over to TCD.
I gotta give it to Lemon Eater there. That Rakan play was clean. Grand entrance in, uses the ultimate and uses the dash to the Sivir to charm.
Oh no, this is probably... Actually no, the Frozen Tomb will allow Tupazion enough time to keep himself alive, but once again it's a case of LYIT just barely evading death. You see New Lake stacking up those plates on the top side, bottom lane as well pushing.
Yeah, the mid lane, no surprise there. The Vladimir is nearly 100 CS. Even if we look at the items, he's got a Dark Seal and he's finished his Proto Belt, where the Lyssandra's sitting on a lost chapter. That's got to feel real bad. The state of the game at the minute, the vision for Trinity, if you can see, they've covered all the bot side entrances. So that way there can be no sort of invades from the Jax, or if he's coming down, they'll see the Jax a mile away. I would like to see the teams maybe look towards this Rift Herald next, just to try and crack open a tower, get more of them plates, get that gold advantage.
Yeah, might as well. You only have about a minute or so to farm up those plates, but I think LYIT going to be struggling to do so, given the current state of the lanes and given the 3k goal that they are currently down. They could do with all the extra help they could get, and Evie might be getting some extra help on the top side as New Lake was going for the trade, walks into the top, but the flash is available for the Cho'Gath, so he should be able to get over the wall. LYIT not choosing to follow. I don't think sure they really had the means to there, and the Cho'Gath will get out, although Summoner Spell has been taken off of New Lake once again.
Yeah, New like getting an awful lot of love from the Jacks at the minute. Again, the Hackram, he's looking towards the bot side here. There's no vision of him. Does he pop the Predator? Yes, here he comes.
Yeah, this is probably a dead silver here. Spell Shield comes in, but look at the burst damage coming out from Raytex. He doesn't care. Second kill of the game for him, and Trinity now complete control of that bottom side.
Yeah, as I said in Champions Select, I would like to see the Hackram down at the bot side, getting the Faba ahead, because it's such a volatile lane, Sivir versus Tristana. Like, whoever gets ahead will just stay ahead and not fall off, because obviously there's both late game hyper carries. But this Vladimir in the mid lane is, to me, is a big concern. Like,
yeah,
even if we look at the CS differentials, the Cho'Gath has got a 20 CS lead, then Tristana's got a 20 CS lead over Sivir, you know. And in all honesty, it's all down to Raytex just being there, keeping that pressure, and making the laners play respectfully that he could be ganking them.
Yeah, how many times have we seen Raytex with these performances where it just seems like he's everywhere? The other team, with their fog of war, have to imagine that there's 2 or 3 of them, given where how often he shows up in different areas of the map. And he's once again replicating that, and also the individual lanes on Trinity performing. New Lake, even despite the attention, up on farm. Faba up on farm. Heavy could be dead though here. Nicely timed taunt will keep him away from the Hecarim for just a little bit longer, and Raytex can't really follow. Bubble doesn't connect as well, but you can see what the plan is here from Trinity. Bottom lane Terra gone, immediately put the Tristan on the top side to turn it into turret number 2.
Yeah, very, very good rotations from Trinity. Evi's kind of overstayed. Oh, that's it.
Actually, he has the help of the Jax here. The stun comes in, and this could be a kill. Faba, though, with the flash and the heal, make sure that he is okay. And Raytex is still hanging around the top side. Count Dunkula as well, sneaking on over. They actually found the Lysandra, who was trying to match it. But the glacial path means that Supazium can get out the side. But the pressure now really coming in this top lane push from Trinity.
Again, back to the statement I made before that fight broke out. Raytex, the guy is just everywhere. Like anytime they're Boomer's trying to make a play. Oh, well, never mind. He's heard me again.
Yeah, actually flashing in for the Nami here. Bubble's not going to connect. Faba actually jumping towards them here with no summoners left. That could be the Tristana's in a lot of trouble. Raytex looking to turn this around. The big bad Hecarim has come to play, and in comes Count Dunkula as well. However, only pops the ultimate and then immediately runs away. But a nice flash taunt. Can Evie get himself a kill? Finds the Tristana here, and this might be the fight that LYIT need. Now they're focusing up the Vladimir, and that will be the kill going over to Supazium. Finally, the Lysandra gets the revenge, and LYIT get 2 kills.
That was so well fought by LYIT. When the Vladimir was flanking, everybody decided, right, we're going to run here, and then it must have been Evie said, no, we're fighting here, let's do this. Makes the engage, gets the kills. Very, very clean execution by LYT.
However, they're looking to turn it into a Rift Tower, but they have to be really careful. Raytex going to jump on in, and they might actually be able to turn this around with the low health bars for LYIT. Bubble's not going to connect, but Nualeg surely has the kill onto Mr. Khan with the Righteous Glory. And they've basically just leashed the Rift Herald for Trinity, who chased them away and will secure it for themselves.
I don't know what to say there. They really should have took that Rift Herald a lot quicker. Again, back to my statement, Raytex, he's always there no matter what. Even when he's dead, he's always there. Yeah, that was a bit... LYT sort of dropped the ball on that one. They got a couple of kills, but now we've got an Infernal Drake, and anybody plays solo queue knows you want the Infernal Drakes.
Oh yeah, the king of all the elemental drakes, most certainly. And right now it looks as if Trinity are looking to be the ones to avail of that with all of the pressure in the area. Okay, Boomer on the top side of the map right now, so he's got a ways to go over if he wants to try contest this on his own. But Trinity not moving to it too quickly, so not too hasty to try take this objective for themselves. They have the Rift Herald on the top side as well, so looking to split the focus of LYIT here on the defensive. And with the Sivir on the top side, I'm not exactly sure how well LYT can make anything happen if they do try to take a fight on this Infernal Drake, but it is already low. People are going to go into the pit, and he steals it with the smite. He will surely go down off the back. They do gobble him up. It's the Cho'Gath that gets the kill. Supazion will be falling as well once the Frozen Tomb ends. A nice takeaway from the Jax, but Trinity with 2 kills after, so it's not like they lost completely everything from that.
No, but on a scaling team, I would trade 2 kills for an Infernal Drake. Let's be real about that. If you're scaling for the late game, you want that Infernal just to have that extra edge on the other team.
Yeah, it does give you that little bump in stats, I think, that they will certainly appreciate. But in the now, Trinity giving the push. A nice taunt from Evie will slow things down a little bit, but Trinity don't care too much. They have Tristana hammering away on the tower. So off the back of that Infernal Steal, LYT still lose 2 of their towers.
I don't know if I would say that's worth trading Infernal for 2 towers and 2 Drakes. Probably not. But now Trinity Force Meme, I've got a 6k goal lead over LYT. It would be really interesting now to see how LYT are going to bunker down, try and stall this game out. Because at the minute, I just don't think they can fight.
Yeah, it's a long way off, I think, for that point when you have the Sivir doing the damage that she needs, when you have the Jax who can really threaten the squishier members on the side of Trinity. And, I mean, the first Baron spawning in just a few seconds. Do Trinity have enough pressure to go for that themselves, to really start playing around that at the 20-minute mark?
I wouldn't say so at this minute time. I would say they would need to get a pick onto the Jax or onto the Sivir, take down one of the major DPS before they can force a Baron. But the one thing I really want to bring attention to is on that back, Raid X finished his Triforce. Look at the damage he was doing without it. Imagine what he's going to do now that he's got the full completed Triforce and Cinderhulk.
He is...
You know, that is a scary possibility that a tanky hacker that's doing a load of damage is going to jump onto you.
Yep, certainly threatening, I think, to say the least. That ultimate hits a few people, and he is going to completely destroy a fight. There's also the Vladimir as well, who is a big team fight threat. Even this Cho'Gath can just gobble up a squishy here, and he might actually be looking to gobble up the Rakan if he can keep him in place for long enough. Raytek's going to help out there with one of those Sheen procs coming through from the Hecarim E, but Rakan, tricky customer, does manage to get it out alive, but even so, Trinity just establishing themselves on this area to make sure they have the vision control. And maybe looking to start this Baron now.
They are starting that Baron. I'm not sure if it's a bait or not. Neolay, it can obviously secure it with face. Got the smite. And LYT don't seem to react to it. They don't have a hankering that's going on. Although Lysandra is coming to face check it, but she's face attacking on Vladimir, and that is one dead Lysandra.
Yeah, the quick damage coming through. Has the Glacial Pass, takes it at the end, but I mean, Count Dunkula, the kill would have just been an extra little bonus. His team has 5 Baron buffs to play with over the next few minutes, and this is where things get very, very scary for LYIT.
Yeah. Trinity are really pouring on the pressure. They've got the lead, and one thing I always criticize Div 2 for is they don't know how to close out games, where Trinity have put their foot in the gas and they're just not taking it off. And especially when you're going against Sivir, this is something you need to do. You need to be pressuring constantly, and I'm really glad to see this from the side of Trinity Force.
Yeah, Sivir right now, only with that Infinity Edge and the Zeal, going to be tough for her to wave clear as well as she normally does against these buffed up minions. So this is looking really, really tricky for LYT. We saw them get that one miracle fight towards the Rift Herald earlier in the game, so maybe they can replicate that, but it's not something you necessarily expect. Evie right now trying to defend that bottom side, but you're probably just going to have to wait for these minions to push in towards his tower, and this Shen's going to have a tricky time. So already one buffed up wave hitting that bottom lane, with another one about to go towards that mid inhib tower. Yeah,
but the really scary thing that I want to point out here is Neolay has finished his Righteous Glory and his Warmogs. So he can take these trades, he can whittle the Shen down and just walk away for 8 seconds and regenerate. Oh, the Jax is gone.
Count Dunkula just luring them in, and Raytek says, thank you very much. The kill does end up going over to the Vladimir in the end. Meanwhile, Neolek has found himself a Lysandra. The path is not taken, and that's going to be the gobble coming through. Neolek clears another member off of the map, and this is the base definitely being taken down here. Flash from Oxen just to keep himself away from his Hecarim, who is on a complete tear throughout the game. Trinity with only 8 kills, but they're already breaking open this base. This is exactly as clean as you would like from the reigning champions here. Bouncing back with the vengeance after a rough couple of weeks and taking down that mid inhib at 23 minutes.
I gotta give props there to Nuole. As soon as he's seen the glacial path, hit the silence and just keep wheeling on her. Nothing else she can do against the Cho'Gath. Really well timed. And as far as game 2 goes, because inevitably they're just going to close this game out, as we can see. It's just sort of, they're circling the back of the drain here. I would not be surprised to see a Vladimir and a Hecarim ban.
Yeah.
And now they're just taking the Drake off the back end of this, just so we can keep that pressure up and regenerate.
Yep. Just to add insult to injury. A little bit of extra sustain if they need it. I'm not sure how much they need it, given the fact that they currently possess a 9,000 goal lead. Yes. Close to a 9,000 goal lead. They are far ahead for the 24-minute mark. LYIT would, as normally say, would be a miracle for them to get back into this one. More likely than anything, their minds are set on game 2 and what changes they need to make. Because I struggle to see any way in which they can come back against the lead that Trinity has right now.
See, if I was on the team of LYT, I would be saying we need to bunker down, stem this bleeding, and play for the late game. But the one issue I have, and I have to voice this issue, is that Vladimir is 2-1, and he is a monster. But nobody has built any sort of Grievous wounds.
They don't really have the money to build a Grievous wound.
Yeah,
I
suppose that's true too.
Yeah, it's a case of, that's the kind of thing where, oh, hang on a second, this could be another big fight in the bottom lane here. Okay, Boomer being focused out by the Hecarim. He's going to be taken down. Stand United will keep him alive, although Nuole not able to cancel it, but that might just mean that this Sivir is falling down. Flash though from Oxen will let him to cut a little bit longer, but the Righteous Glory coming on in. Evie with the nicely timed flash and the Tom to make sure that his AD carry stays alive, and they take out the Cho'Gath. Will relieve a little bit of pressure, but the rest of Trinity still pushing in that top lane. However, LYIT mounting a defense now, and down a man, Trinity just going to leave it for the moment and back off.
Yeah, again, I think that was Nuole just sort of trolling a bit, you know, oh, we're so far ahead, I can just do whatever I want, and he pays the price for it, and now they've got this great axe. Does Jax commit for it?
Yeah, this could be the Hecarim going dead here as well. Okay, Boomer is able to get that. That's another kill. LYIT able to slow things down just a little bit. They'll be happy for the pressure to be relieved.
That's scary though, because that was a 700 gold shutdown onto a Jax with a completed Triforce already. Must be looking into the Sterk's gauge, I would imagine, next. But slowly but surely, we see LYT starting to get these items, which to me is starting to spell disaster, because if Jax gets his items, Sivir gets his items, Trinity Force maybe could have a tough time here.
Yeah, it's a silver lining in what has been a cloudy game so far. Evie recalling on a ward could put him in trouble, but he has the Shadow Dash to get himself to safety. Trinity over the last couple of minutes caught napping, and it just allows a bit of a break. And like you said, those items to be picked up. Sivir has the static shift, so it's getting closer and closer to that point where Sivir can really start hurting in these team fights. Nuole though thinks he has a pick, but once again, this Rakan has been so tricky for them to lock down this game. Manages to evade the clutches of Nuole's Cho'Gath once again, but Trinity, as we saw with the first Baron, completely in control of the top side of the map, and will be just looking to burn this down before LYT can challenge at all.
See, this is make or break time. They need to make like a Hail Mary play and just jump in and try and steal that Baron. If they get that Baron, that is game over.
Yeah.
And LYT are well aware of this.
Kentucky though looking to play back here, and actually they're looking to turn off the Baron and turn towards the fight. Oxen being focused out by the Hecarim, should be going down. The peel does come through. You want the rest of the fight. Okay, Boomer trying to do the damage on the backline. A nice buster shot that will knock him away. They will take out the Rakan, and they get the kill onto the Jax as well, and that should be it now, with one going down, and Raytex jumps back into the fight, cleans up the last couple of kills. Actually, one goes over to that Vladimir, but I doubt Trinity care who the kills are assigned to, because that is an ace for them, and that is likely game 1 going to Trinity Force.
amazing fight. Again, Raid X, I can't credit this guy enough this game. He's seen the window of opportunity and he just took it. You know, they were going for the Baron play, and Raid X must have said to himself, too risky, I can run in here and kill somebody and we're going to try and win a fight off that. The Tristana Buster shot in the Jack's way to get a bit more DPS down. Very, very good.
Yeah, the Lemon Eater trying to make a last-ditch defense. But actually, Trinity will be backing off, but both Nexus Tower has gone down. Okay, Boomer looking to see if he can get anything on the way out to maybe allow LYT the opportunity to take that bar, but he is just going to go down to the Cho'Gath, and this might be LYT signing their own death warrant. They lose the Lemon Eater as well, but now the damage is coming through from Oxim, and they should be able to get the Vladimir, although a double kill onto the Lissandra actually probably means that Count Dunkula can survive. And now Trinity might have the opportunity to end the game. It's a triple kill for Count Dunkula. Oxim now, the one last member, trying to defend this as the Sivir. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it though. Does get the kill onto the Vladimir here, but will be popped by that Hemo Plague. And Newelek doesn't even care. Has the knock-up, should be able to finish off that kill. Oxim kites it back out onto the fountain though. This is so messy here. Do they have time to finish it off? Okay, Faba, he comes into the base. He's the one who actually has the attack damage and will allow Trinity to take game 1 of this series.
Beautiful game by Trinity. Gotta give them their props. Honestly, I'll give it more to Raid X just because of the way he played out the early game, his decision making. The guy was on fire tonight. Let's be real about it. Game 2 coming up, I would nearly 100% say Vladimir and Hecarim are both going to be getting a wee ban there. What sort of decision making would you like to see change from LYT?
I think certainly with those champions, could definitely do with a ban, given how they were played in that game. Also, potentially just a bit more care about the mid lane and how it's played early on in the game would do nicely for them. But we're going to go to a short break actually as we get ready for this second game of the series. So make sure you guys stick around and we'll be back in a few minutes with game 2 of LYIT versus TCD.
Welcome to the world, no heroes and villains. Welcome to the war, we've only begun. So pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment. Now is your time, so prove yourself. seconds while you dream. A life never lives in peace. As you stand upon the edge, woven by a single thread, and fate may fall down upon you, while the devil is knocking right at your door. So are you restless? Each night you hear the drums roar. Awaken, awaken, the voice begins to call you while you hunger. A taste of destiny you're searching for. Awaken, awaken, the fight is at your door. Take up the cause. As you stand upon the edge, hanging in the balance, and fate may fall down upon you, while the devil is knocking. So are you restless? Each night you hear the drums roar. Awaken, awaken, the voice begins to call you while you hunger. A taste of destiny you're searching for. Awaken, awaken, awaken. You know who it is. Come and run again. You want a dose of this right now? It's Collegiate. I'm a goddess with a blaze. 소리처럼 내 이름 잊지 못하게. Loud, 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 loud. I could take you to the top. 절대 멈추지 못해. 내가 끝내주는 bag, yeah, yeah, yeah. And when I start to talk like that, oh, you know how to react. I'm a picture perfect face with that wild in my veins. You can hear it in my growl, 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 growl. So keep your eyes on me now. 무엇을 보든 좋아할 거야. 다 할 수 없는 배분. 나와 되길 원한 늘 확신해. We got it all in our hands now. So can you handle what we're all about? What's so tough?
Hello and welcome back to this best of two between LYIT Gaming and Trinity Force. Trinity with a 1-0 lead here. So they've done most of the work in terms of getting themselves qualified for the Collegiate Championship 2019 playoffs in Division 2, but they'll be looking to go 2-0 here. LYIT, meanwhile, still need that all-important game win to really set themselves up to go through to the next.
Yeah, well, if anything to go by, the first game to go by is we will see a Hecarim and we will see a Vladimir banned. But hold on a minute.
So, not choosing to ban both of them in the first phase. Obviously, thinking the Morgana and Cassiopeia are still very important. Trinity with their first two bans, similar to last time, keeping the same kind of things off the table. But I'm with you on this one. I think we'd be surprised if we didn't see one of them
What?
taken away. But they've got the same threes last time. So obviously the champion's not really scaring them. People on Trinity are the ones actually making the adaptation. They're going to deny the Jacks.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that Jax ban, and straight away the lock in for the Vladimir. So they've pinched the Vladimir. So I highly doubt we're gonna see. Hold on, sorry,
Yeah,
I'm confused here.
this is the Vladimir. I mean, I get what they're coming from. That does allow Trinity the Heck Room if they still want it. They're going to get the Nami for themselves as well, and that's obviously pretty happy with that pick. And there it is.
Yep,
Heck
the
Room for
Hecarim.
Atex once again. If his game was anything to go by, I think LYIT already have to be a little bit scared of what he's going to be ready for in game 2.
Yeah, but maybe they found a way to beat this Hecarim. They had a quick chat and said, right, this champion could negate a lot of the stuff Hecarim wants to do because, as we've seen from the last game, he took over that Hecarim. He took over in a big way. So for them to let that through the draft phase, they must have a plan how to negate Hecarim. So I'm really
Yeah.
curious to see which way this plays out.
LYT need to have a plan to negate the Heck Room. They've denied the Vladimir, so Count Dunkula's champion pool anyway is getting a little bit more pinched than it would have been. The Sivir, once again, will be taken for Oxim. And, okay, making sure that Vladimir's going to that top side. They're going to go with the Lysandra again in the mid lane for Supazion. Count Dunkula has been big on the LeBlanc, aside from the 2 picks that he's not able to access this game. And while it's not a best matchup for that champion in the mid lane, he has played very well against Lysandras previously in this competition, but that does mean the Urgot is available in the top lane in New Lake. He's not going to have that banned away from him this time. He's going to get that with pick number 3 for Trinity.
Everybody knows Neolek plays a very, very mean Urgot. I'm curious to see how Evie's Vladimir will do into an Urgot. But there's a Leona ban. Maybe that's
They
a
banned that
target ban.
away. They banned that away last time. It is one of the Lemon Eater's big champions, and I suppose if you are playing a squishy lane, can be kind of tricky to deal with. That Nami is fairly squishy on those early levels.
Yeah, that is true. Plus, if they do lock in the Leona can stop a lot of the Hecarim's hard engage. That AoE ult, again, her Q just one auto attack stuns him. And the J4 ban away here.
Yeah, they are preparing for the jungle matchup that they could be going against. They know that the jungle is still to be picked as opposed to last time where they were maybe wary of the flex. Swain and the Ari being denied though, I think they are trying to shepherd Count Dunkula into a pick like the LeBlanc with a lot of champions being denied from him in this game. I think 5 champions that he plays have been taken away. Going to leave it to last pick though. Going to wait to see what the full composition is as 4th pick for Trinity is the Caitlyn.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Caitlyn into the Sivir matchup, just because if she places a trap and Sivir needs mana, just walk over the trap, spell shield, free mana. I'm really curious to see what the supports have in mind here, just because of that Hecarim. They need a Trundle.
Oh,
That's
I'm wondering. That's a Trundle. Okay, I was wondering, is that I was thinking initially support, but then I was like, wait a second, they might be looking for that in the jungle, and that is where they are going to put it. The Lemon Eater going back to Thresh in the bottom lane, which I like against the Caitlyn and the Nami, but Trundle in the jungle, that's a different one coming out for LYIT.
that is a throwback, and a Teemo. This must be a placeholder.
It's got to be a placeholder. That's unless they are looking for the Teemo mid lane, and Kentokula is really that stressed about the picks. So we will find out what that placeholder is once we get out of this lobby and into the next one. What are you expecting for this mid lane pick?
Honestly, I think it's going to be something spicy. I think it's going to be something like a Yasuo or a Zed or something like that. I don't know. I think it's because like they needed one win to get through, so they've got that win. Now they just want to sort of flex their guns a bit. So I'm expecting something spicy.
It's going to be the Silas in the mid lane for
Silas.
Trinity. This was a champion that was actually not allowed in the last couple of weeks of the competition due to the issues with the ultimate, but has been allowed back. And immediately in the first series that it's legal for, he is going to be taken in the mid lane. Game 2, Count Dunkula taking that one. And I think there's a few nice ultimates he can grab from the enemy team if he does manage to land it.
Yeah, the Silas. I don't know why I overlooked Silas. I did say something spicy, and Silas is probably one of the spiciest picks at the minute. just because of his well, I can't really say his ultimate, but everybody else's ultimate.
Yeah.
So yeah, no big surprises there. Um, Count Dunkula piloting the Silas into Lissandra though. Like I'm not sure. I think Lissandra will have the push early on. Maybe execute the Lissandra roams a bit better because to me Silas takes a wee while to really get going.
Yeah, so once again, potentially that opportunity for LYT to capitalize on that, make some nice plays early, but we saw that wasn't really the case game one. Although Count Dunkula a lot more familiar on the Vladimir than he was the Silas. So maybe the key is making him a little bit more uncomfortable in a matchup as well, and then working with that because I think I'm curious to see how the composition as a whole works out for the LYIT side. Uh, Between the Vladimir being added to that top lane is not something we normally see out of Evi. The Trundle in that jungle position as well. There's a few kind of unique aspects to this team fight that should make it interesting in any case from LYIT.
But you see, I like I like the Trundle into this team simply because like the ultimate from Trundle. He presses ult on Urgot, shred him down. He presses ult onto Hakram, shreds him down. You know, there is that tank shredding ability from the Trundle. Plus, Trundle did get a buff there this patch. His frozen zone now gives him 30% attack speed instead of 20. So it makes him a lot more competent when it comes to dueling in the jungle. Into a Hakram, the Hakram tries to run at him, he puts the pillar up to slow him down. That decreases his attack speed, puts the frozen zone, and then he can just beat that Hakram down. Again, that's a situational fight, but I like the Trundle pick. Again, was not expecting it. I don't think anybody viewing us right now expected it, but I can see it working.
Yeah, it's certainly something that LYT must have faith in themselves, given that they're willing to let the heck room through once again. So we'll see if the machinations of OK Boomer and the rest of his team will bear fruit for LYIT, or if they fall in as emphatic a fashion as they did in game one. Trinity really, really strong in that first game, and we'll be looking for a repeat performance here off the back of Ray Texas Heckram, as well as Newelek finally getting his hands on the Urgot, who has been very recently changed. So he'll now have to maybe figure out some of the new aspects of the kit on the fly, but he's very experienced. He should be able to work it out. Once again, we're going to go to a short break as we work through the 3-minute countdown. But when we are back, we'll be bringing you game 2 of this best of 2 between LYIT and TCD.
level 2, level 3, starting to get this wave pushing, getting them side lanes ahead. The Trundle is now just moving his way on the Crab. Silas is rotating down, and I think everything's just going to be like they split. Here comes Red Axe.
Again, Silas with the priority here, looking to see if they can take that away. And Raytex actually grabs the Crab. Okay, but we're going to be in a lot of trouble as he's knocked back by the Hecarim Ian. This is going to be a complete disaster. Last game, the jungler could escape, but this time he will go down. Ignite from Count Dunkela does that. First blood over to Trinity. Now looking for number 2. If they can get the CC onto Sufazion, and they are going to get it. I don't think there's a way out. Flash from the Lissandra just comes in the nick of time. Pot's helping to sustain out through the DOT. Will prevent kill 2 going over, but disaster for LYIT in the first 3 minutes of this game.
Again, it comes down to that mid lane push, and we have a pause. But let's talk a little more about that fight. What I gather from this is Count Dunkela has been communicating with Radax saying, right, I've got this mid lane pushed in, you can go for that Crab. Comes in, sees the Trundle, and because he has mid priority, he collapses, gets the first blood, because Lissandra is a little later on the room because she is pushed in. And that's just first blood.
We may see Hook connects in the bottom lane though, and a good bit of damage coming out onto Faba, but he's already been pushed in well under tower. So actually, Raytex there in the bottom lane looking for a gank as well here. This could be the Sivir in a whole lot of trouble. Oxum has to flash up, holding onto it. Actually manages to keep both summoners. Lemonier though, oh no, he's going to be in a lot of trouble as the bubble catches him on the way out. And what IT thought they were away, but cheeky bubble coming in there from NASA will give kill number 2 over to Trinity.
And that is something you really don't want happening to a Thresh, is falling behind in the early levels. Because if you're playing an aggressive, engaged champion like the Thresh, you need to be collecting them souls to get that armor, get that AP. And to also get the levels to remain tanky enough to engage. And if you look, he's had to back, and he will miss out on maybe nearly a full wave of experience. And I think as a Thresh player, but once upon a time, you get about 3.
Okay, Boomer looking to see if he can make a gank happen here. Flash is available for this Silas, but once again, this Hecarim is everywhere. 3rd kill of the game now. She'll be able to get number 4 onto the Trundle. Double kill for Raytex, and he is 2-0-2 in the first 4.5 minutes of this game. Trinity off to a flying start.
Why did they not ban that Hecarim? Radax is just so good on this Hecarim. I can't talk enough about it. I really got hyped about this Trundle pick because I do see it situationally winning against the Hecarim, but Radax is just everywhere. No matter what the Trundle's trying to do, Radax is there for the counter, he's there for the Crabs. At the minute, the Trundle's going to be afraid to walk into his own jungle.
Yeah, it's... I think everything that could have gone wrong. You can see what LYIT are trying to do at the start of this game, but once again, just Trinity able to capitalize. And the Trundle pick 0-2 and 0 in these early stages. Bot lane though, Hook's connecting from this Thresh. So in any case, a bit of pressure coming out from the bottom lane, showing a bit of fight in the 2 versus 2. So potentially a bright spot for LYIT, but just given the goal deficit they faced 5 minutes in, it's going to be a lot for them to do to fight their way back out of that.
Yeah, but the saving grace though is the Lissandra, despite having died, is still ahead in CS as opposed to last game. And their bot, the Caitlyn, has got a bit of a CS lead over the Caitlyn, and Vladimir has got caught by...
Oh, this is going to be a dead one. The ultimate landed and does get in range to do the last tick of damage so he can secure that kill for himself. Solo in the top lane for New Lake on the Urgot. Infernal Drake for LYIT, but they are 5 kills down very early on in this game. It's a long time before those extra stats will be coming through.
Yeah, they've got a tough mountain to climb, a very steep mountain to climb, but again, they just need to get a little more vision down, preferably deep vision into the jungle so they can keep an eye on that Hecarim. Because if they can predict, well, not even predict, but see where he is and predict a gank, then they know when they can play aggressive and when to play back. Because every time that Hecarim's caught them, been far up in the lane, overextended, and there's minimal vision. So I would like to see them buy a little more pink wards get them a little deeper into the enemy jungle to track that Hecarim, because at the minute he's running Wrath and they're not really doing much to stop him.
Yeah, he could be about to run right in this top lane in a second, although maybe choosing against it. Doesn't have the level 6 available yet, and heavy on the Vladimir. Maybe tricky with that pool, despite the fact that his ultimate and summoner spells are all down. Don't want to risk it too much. If you're getting a lot going your way early, at some point, potentially look at the run out. Kentucky, they're looking for the engage in the middle lane here, but OK Boomer showing up at the right time, and this will be a dead Silas. First kill on the board for LYIT over to this Lysandra.
Oh, the Hecarim is there.
Yeah, Raytex though, once again, I mean, this time he was a little bit later than usual. Doesn't show up in the middle of the gank, but he shows up after. And now he's on a killing spree. 3-0 and 2. I mean, I don't know why I looked away. I should have expected him to be there. He's actually going to see if he can get kill number 2. And Lysandra has the flash available, using the glacial path. Can't get under tower to avoid out of this Hecarim, but it's not going to use the flash and will go down. Raytex 4-0 and 2. However, kill might come through in the bottom lane again. The heal onto Faba will not give him enough help to survive. That is a 2v2 kill for LYIT. Despite the rest of the map falling to pieces, Oxen and the Lemon Eater showing up.
Yeah, again, LYT showing that they're not just going to roll over and play dead because they lost the first game. There's a lot of fight in this team still. Like, Boomer made a really good prediction in mid to be behind the tower for the lane gank, when Silas would no doubtably play aggressive because he's been playing very aggressive all game. Hopefully, hit with that gank has made him think, right, I need to play a little more respectfully here, take a bit of pressure off the Lysandra. But Boomer has showed topside, and I would not be surprised to see Hecarim just head straight for his bot side jungle once he comes back into the game. But so far, it's been a bit of a slaughter fest the first couple of minutes. Like, we're averaging over, 1 kill per minute to be exact now. But again, they're a scaling team and they've got an Infernal Drake, so I wouldn't count them out of this game just yet.
You can never count them out. We saw them get a couple of fights against the run of play in the previous game, but once again, LYIT fighting from behind against Trinity, who are a team that are notoriously coordinated around this mid-game. We'll see if they can leverage their advantage into some big plays around the map once again as we approach the 10-minute mark of this game. And so far the Trundle pick, we were excited about it. We were wondering how it would work out against the Hecarim here, but I think just before they could even hit the gas, they were being shut down by their opponents with some nice coordination and maybe some over-aggression on that early Scuttle Crab. And now OK Boomer has a long deficit to claw his way back from.
Yeah, I agree. But on the flip side, he's doing better on the Trundle than he did on the Jax last game. The silver linings.
Is he? I mean, I suppose that there's the chance for him to kind of have more of an impact. Oh, hang on a second. I've seen this story before. I know how this ends. Yeah.
Yep.
There's not much to say, except the Raytex now 5-0 and 2, and continues to just run over anyone in his path.
Yeah, but what's interesting that I really want to touch on is this game. Look at that. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, more action in the bottom side here. Lemon Eater, though, might have been caught out. Oh, right. Every single time. Although he's not able to get the kill, they'll be able to turn this around. Shut down gold for that Sivir. That is who you want it on. And this time, finally, the Hecarim shows up. Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, but if I want to go back to my first point there, look at the first item he's bought.
Oh, okay, yes.
You know, that's quite a squishy Hecarim right now. Ghostblade first item for the Hecarim. He is looking to be that DPS. He wants to run at somebody and insta-kill them.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not 100% sure on it, but I'm not a Hecarim player. I always thought it was like a Rush Triforce and Cinderhulk, as he did in the first game, but if he is snowballing like 5 kills ahead, he's probably thinking, I can do whatever I want and still kill people, sort of thing. And gets punished for it.
That Ghostblade will give him an insane amount of upfront damage. We may see it come out here. Lysandra actually not going to be taking too much there from the Hecarim. And will be able to get back to the safety of her own team, as these teams jostle for control on that bottom side of the map with a Mountain Drake there for the taking. Right now, Trinity certainly the ones with the advantage in that area, and potentially Raytex looking for a play in the mid lane once again. It's just going to result in Count Donkula stealing that Frozen 2 for himself. A nice teamfight tool if he does wish to use it, and if the Mountain Drake is focused out by other team.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm really surprised the Thresh didn't just flay and hook that Hecarim, because that was really aggressive, and he had the backup there of his team to kill him. Maybe a bit too hesitant to pull the trigger. I'm not sure, but right now I see, if you look in the bot side river, it is littered with red side wards. Clearly, they're really prioritizing this Mountain Drake.
Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, okay, he's found OK Boomer. I don't know if the Hecarim can fight this, but actually a lot of damage coming through. Also, the Shadows has to be used to escape, but New Lake was on the way over. That will force a flash out of the Trundle as well. Once again, able to evade death, although New Lake goes over the wall. If he could just get close enough for a couple more auto attacks, or those noxious blasts can take out that Trundle. Meanwhile, Raytex trying to see who he can find at the back. He's on half health, but he doesn't care. However, LYIT beginning to plug the holes now a little bit. Trinity, especially their jungler, not finding as many free picks as he was in the first 10 minutes or so. LYT seemingly having a few more responses. Meanwhile, Oxum maybe was thinking of chasing down the Nami, but only on his own there. Not sure if Faba was. Has to reconsider. That was a flash.
Yeah, that was indeed a flash. Not sure about that, but okay. But in the top side, the pull's been used, and the Hecarim is going for him. Nope.
Evie, he knows what's up. He's going to back off on that one, and we get a pause straight away. And this one from Trinity once again. Faba having a couple of issues, but so I mean, so far LYT beginning to give over a few more kills now, just to slow the bleeding a little bit, which I think at this stage of the game is really what they need to do.
Yeah, but if we look at that engage on the Trundle, instantly as soon as he had hit him with a dash, the Trundle just puts down his Frozen Tomb and just starts wailing on him and wins the trade. You know, it's getting to that point now. The Trundle has finished his Cinder Hulk. He's beefy. He takes away damage with his Q, and now he can sort of bully the Hecarim 1v1. So I like Trundle. I always did, but without their Frozen area buff, like 30% attack speed is a lot of attack speed, especially with an auto attack reset in his kit and a slow. You know,
yeah,
fighting a Trundle 1v1 as a Hecarim with a Ghost Blade, if he's not one-shotting him, he can't win.
Yeah,
Sorry?
I was saying we just saw there actually when Raytex thought he had a nice pick onto OK Boomer, but the Trundle actually just stood there, popped the Subjugate, and was getting a lot of damage down in response. And I'm not sure Raytex could have really hung in there for that 1v1, although he did still have the ultimate and could have used that to turn things around. But he actually ended up just using it to escape the Trundle almost. So have to be wary of situations like that. OK Boomer, I mean, he is 0-3-2, but as he gets going in this game, he's going to be less of a target, and potentially can leverage that, whether it be him just playing isolated, whether it be even trying to split push in certain instances, will allow him, in any case, that safety from this 5-1-2 Hecarim, if things keep on scaling as linearly as they seem to be.
Yeah, as I say, scaling will play a huge factor in this game, because again, the 6-item silver win conditions there, the Trundle is that beefy frontline. The Vladimir, though he does amazing damage, he is still very beefy with that healing. And then you've got Sivir, just the free fire. You've got Lysandra to set up the fight. You've got a Thresh to set up the fight and disengage the fight if needed. So if it goes to the later stages of the game, I don't know. I would give it LYT in the later stages.
Potentially. I mean, they do also have the Infernal Drake to rely on as well, and Oxum is ahead of Faba, and we know that the Sivir can be pretty dangerous, provided she can avoid all of the dive you imagine will be coming out of Trinity in this game. So if they can keep the Sivir up and standing, then certainly there's options for LYT in the late game team fights, but they have to get to that point. and still facing a 4,000 gold deficit. Could see a big fight in the bot lane coming out here. Lemon Eater already forward, actually looking for the play, but once again, Raytex straight onto the Sivir. Oxum using the flash out. The ultimate actually missing, but Raytex will still be able to get the kill. It is traded back, and it actually is credited to Oxum in the end. So a 1-for-1 on that bottom side. Nice counter gank. Was not enough to completely win that out for Trinity, but it's an even trade between the two teams.
Yeah, again, Raytex is just reading these plays so well, but there's a hook onto the Nami. That's
That's actually going to go down here to OK Boomer. The Lemon Eater on point with these Thresh hooks, and Supazion trying to see if he can get in range. Has the flash and the ultimate, but now the teleport coming out here. Will Evie be looking to match this? In any case, Duelek will get to the lane first and clean out that Lysandra. Meanwhile, Trap will land on OK Boomers. More damage coming through. Evie teleported down as well. The Trundle will be hit by the Fear Beyond Death and hooked back on in. And Trinity, at the end of the day, winning that overall a 3-for-2. Looking to make it a 4-for-2 if Count Dunkula can lock up Evie for long enough. Vladimir with the sustain and the flash able to get out. But that will be first tower over to Trinity, and all in all, the advantage in kills, the advantage in the tower going over to the winning team where they extend their advantage.
Really good TP from Duolek. He must have been watching that fight from the top side, got the perfect teleport, waited for the Vladimir to pull out of the damage to hit the Fear Beyond Death onto the Trundle and secure that kill. And on the back end of it, they get the tower and a Mountain Drake, so they're going to be feeling pretty good about that fight.
Yeah, just accruing more advantages for themselves off the back of that and pushing their goal lead to about 5,500 right now. Just the individual advantages on both solo laners and the jungle are massively in favor of Trinity, and their team fight is going to be so threatening over the next 10 minutes, even against this Sivir who is ahead still only with that Infinity Edge in the inventory. It's going to be a long time before Oxum can really contribute in the way they need, and Trinity may just have the run of every team fight, and Ken Dunkula looking to leverage that already, and this is a dead threat. Everyone collapsing onto him. A nice flash does not matter. Onslaught of Shadows, ace in the hole actually from Fab and Faba. Will snipe that over the side. A pick taken by Trinity, and now looking to convert that into a Rift Herald if they can.
Yeah, again, Thresh was pretty out of position there. No vision in their jungle, and yeah, when there's a Hackram running about with a Ghost Blade, you need vision. Right now, they're going to try to fight over this Herald.
Engage coming out here, and we saw this in game 1 with the Rift Herald being taken by Trinity. It might be a reverse this time around, and Raytex will go down to the Vladimir. Faba looking to see if he can finish off Oxum. Actually, it's Duelek who steals that away, but already 2 kills for Evie in this fight. And with Raytex down, this should be going over. Count Dunkula able to steal the Lysandra ultimate, and the Rift Herald is actually reset, so Trinity could once again make things tricky for LYIT in this area, but they have to watch out for the low health bars on their support and mid laner.
Yeah,
this is going to be secure. Count Dunkula actually going to go over the wall, and the Rift Herald will be taken by, I'm not sure who ended up getting the Rift Herald there because the client doesn't show it at the end, but they do lose the Silas in the end, and actually Trundle was able to take it, so it was secured by OK Boomer. So LYT get the Rift Herald that they missed out in game 1, looking to immediately use that in the mid lane, and finally something going right for LYIT.
Yeah, that was a really good re-engage. Like, you'd think they'd lost the team fight, and then they just turn it around and take the Rift Herald. They came and they said, we want this Rift Herald. They get a slap in the wrist, and then they just do it anyway. You know, that's the best way to describe that team fight. But I'm not sure why the Silas re-engaged. Maybe trying to steal it, but with the smite there, I don't see him stealing it ever.
Yeah, it was, I'm not sure what the plan was there. Maybe just trying to make a big play. I'd try to play with this team's lead, I guess. Potentially, but it does give over a kill on top of the Rift Herald. So that allows LYIT a bit of a cushion compared to the deficit they were facing, but it's still the game firmly in Trinity's favor here. Baron spawning in about 20 seconds, 15 seconds or so, but I think compared to game 1 where they had a clear-cut advantage around the 20-minute mark, there's still the threats on the side of LYIT that they have to watch out for, that they have to be careful that they don't fall to. The Sivir's doing a lot of damage. You saw the Vladimir with a big impact in that last team fight, so Trinity have to be wary despite the lead that they currently possess.
Yeah, but credit to LYT, they've slowed this game down a lot. Like right now, there is nothing really happening. They've slowed the game down. It's a farm fest, but caster curse. Here we go.
Oh yeah, we see the ultimate connect, and Evie should be going down here. I don't think he's going to have to sustain to get back in time. New Lake with another solo kill. This Urgot is 4-0-0 and creating problems in the side lanes.
Yeah, agreed. But again, that's down to playing too aggressive, and you get punished for it. You know, it's one of the things where you sort of have to play respectfully.
LYT go over the wall, but the Hecarim was already out of there. On the Hunt's going to be used as they split their focus here on the side, and that actually might just mean Oxum's going down, but NASA being focused out by this Trundle right now should be falling. Oxum having to flash away, but I'm not sure he's going to be safe enough from Raytex at the end. Once again, it is a trade. Raytex will give up his life to take out the LYIT AD carry. It was a nice plan, but just not the information or the joint focus available. And now the Lemonator should be falling as well. Ace in the hole, not enough to finish off the kill, but NASA able to do it with the wave. Meanwhile, they go into the tower as well, and Kentucky has the Lysandra ultimate to help himself out in that fight. They just clean up everything off the back of that. Meanwhile, Evie might be going down again. He doesn't have the ultimate. A nice bit of sustain coming out, but Newleg still just firing away. And he's going to get his second solo kill in the space of about a minute. And this is just going all in favor of Trinity here as they get what is nearly an ace. It might have been an ace actually across the map. Delayed ace in any case. And now looking to push in this top tier tower as well. What a swing for Trinity.
Yeah, 100%. But I want to bring it back to a point I made the last game. Why is Neole destroying this Vladimir? He bought an Executioner's Calling.
That's what you do, yeah.
Yeah. So, again, for anybody watching at home struggling against the Vladimir and solo queue, the trick is Grievous Wounds. Right now, I don't see the Vladimir 1v1ing this Urgot anytime soon. The Urgot is 5-0 with a 30 CS lead on him. You know, he needs to play a little more respectfully towards this Urgot. Play passive, let him push up to the tower, farm the wave under turret, try and get a freeze going outside, just freeze it up, farm up, because at the minute that Urgot, he has just finished a Death's Dance, and that is going to be one scary monster in a team fight.
Yeah, this scary in the team fight, scary in the split push. New Lake is now a real threat. Raytex was dominating the early game, and now New Lake could be set to dominate the map for the next while or so. Trinity were able to grab themselves an Infernal Drake. Spellsheet comes out actually, but Oxami is still dead. This team was not there to bail him out of the Hecarim engage that time. He will fall. LYT down what is possibly their most important member on the map right now. Trinity with a whole lot of control. Maybe, just maybe, thinking about the Baron.
Oh, they're looking at that big purple worm, and are they going to pull the No, I think they're just baiting here. They're going to set up a bit of vision, try and set a wee trap for somebody, and then after the trap set, but that is another dead Evie.
Yep, this is... dashing out of the ultimate.
Yeah.
But
again, Evie needs to play a little more respectfully against that Urgot, because if you keep giving an Urgot kills, he's just going to be unstoppable. No matter how much you throw at him, he's just going to walk through it. We've all been there with a fed Urgot and solo queue. It's just not a nice feeling.
Yeah, it's tricky to play against, to say the least. And I think the whole of Trinity is pretty tricky to play against. 10,000 goal lead for them right now. Landing the hook actually, and they're pulling the trigger on this engage. They want that Caitlyn, and they have that Caitlyn. But Raytex now looking to see if he can trade 80 carries. The CC comes out onto the Hecarim, and they keep Oxen standing. 2 quick kills for LYIT. Looking to make it number 3. They hook in Nualaic, but he is just going to do the AoE damage before he goes down. LYIT, though, have enough with all 5 members surrounding the Urgot to take that. And once again, against the run of play, this team has what it takes to pull off a big team fight win. And now they might be the ones getting the first Baron of this game.
Again, curse of the casters. We beg one team up and the other team hears us and just says, we're going to prove you wrong, and then they just do it. And now it looks like the Baron in the way of LYT, and very well deserved, because that was such a clutch hook from that Thresh. Honestly,
yeah,
Lemonator is popping off with this Thresh. He has not missed a hook this entire game.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the before the game started, that he plays a lot of this Thresh, so I'm surprised he didn't bring it out in game 1, but he is showing that he can certainly have some performances on it here. Has been making a lot of nice plays on the Thresh this game, but I think the whole of LYT just really showing a different side to them in that team fight, not scared to pull the trigger on engage despite being so far behind on the map, and with that window afforded to them, made it work, managed to keep their AD carry alive, and all in all just finding enough damage to win it out, showing that there is an opportunity for success, a path to success for them in this game. They just need to keep doing that, keep finding these nice fights, and this Baron buff will give them time to continue the scaling that they have going.
Yeah, again, props to the Thresh. The one thing that separates a good support from a bad support is their decision making. I say this all the time, people say support's the easiest role to play. Supports are who start the fight, who make the plays. And he knew, as soon as he hooked that Caitlyn, yes, I can go in here, we've got the damage to take her out, and if the Hecarim engages, we've got the Lysandra ult to stop him as well. But
another pick coming in here. Oxum actually flashing away from the Lantern. Coordination not on point that time from LYIT. The Silver will be down a pretty important summoner spell. Well, both summoner spells actually. Trying to get away from this Hecarim. Ratex still flexing a bit of muscles on the pony with that one, and Oxum now will be in a tricky situation next fight.
I hate it when that happens. When you throw the Lantern, the AD carry flashes away. But no, if you just look at the amount of...
Oh, he wants the engage. He's going to flash forward for this and has Ratex to back him up. And Trinity just completely pulling the trigger on this with Lysandra so far away. And they are just wiping the floor with LYIT. 2 kills already. Make that 3 as the Trundle goes down. Heavy fall before Supazium's teleport even finishes. They've only lost Nualaic, and they have got themselves 4 kills and can now push with not much of a Baron buff to defend this. Kentucky looking for number 5, and he is able to lock up Supazium. Frozen 2 used, buys Lysandra a little bit of time. Trap actually not connecting with the Lysandra, with the Zhonya's. He's just giving all of the time in the world for Trinity to catch up with them. Ace comes in, Kentucky to get the last kill, and this is the base of Trinity being broken open. Or base of LYT, I should say, being broken open by Trinity.
That was a very questionable Zhonya's. But, again, props to Trinity. They seen their window of opportunity. Nualaic seen the window, and he went for it. He went deep, and he got it. Like, that was such a clutch team fight, and they reap the rewards. Now they fall back and are looking. No, I thought they were looking for the Cloud Drake there, but no, they're just going to recall and buy some more items. The Caitlyn should be finished her 3rd item to the Siver's 2nd. I'm not sure what they're working towards next, because she's got a pickaxe and Warhammer. I thought she would be going for another crit item.
Yeah.
She must be looking for that Essence Reaver next.
Looks like that may be the call. We shall see when Oxen does get the gold to finish item number 3, but he is now behind his build compared to Faba, and the rest of his team behind in most of their builds compared to Trinity. And looks as if this Cloud Drake will be going over to TCB. Is secured by Ratex there. Meanwhile, Nualaic now he stands against Supazium, and we've seen what he can do on his own in the side lanes, but actually he's not on his own. He's 1 versus 4 here. Looking to see if he can get a kill before he goes down. Gonna hook into Lysandra. A lot of damage coming through the Frozen 2 will slow things, but the sustain coming out of Nualaic is good, making him so tricky, and he just does not care. Come one, come all, he'll take them down all the same. Double kill for him and a double for Ratex as well. And despite LYT thinking they had the play, this is probably just game now for Trinity as they take out 4, losing none. Have the super minions on the Nexus Towers. I don't think OK Boomer could do anything against this push. And Trinity once again, game 2 on their power picks, showing up huge. They will win 2-0 and they will guarantee their spot in the playoffs of the Collegiate Championship Division 2.
As I said, that death dance, that will come in clutch. The amount of damage the Urgot will put out as you're hitting him will be disgusting. But what can I say? They should have banned that Hecarim. That Hecarim was so impactful. He was everywhere. He was ganking everywhere. He was farming well. He was counter ganking. I mean, Red Axe played out of his mind both games, and the win greatly deserved by Trinity Force Beam.
Yeah, so Trinity will move to 10 points, which guarantees them through LYIT. Their fate is in the hands of the other teams in the competition. They'll be hoping a few more results go their way if they want to move on to the playoffs here in Division 2. Once again, shout out to our sponsors, Marvin.ie. You can use the code ICE5 to get a bit off your order. I believe it's 10% off your order. Aiden can confirm that in chat for me because he had to low down on the details there. But from myself, and I will dominate this evening, that will be it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully we'll have more ICE League of Legends action later on in the week. But for tonight, a very good evening and thanks for watching.
Just before we come to a close, I would like to say a very happy birthday to my cousin who is watching at home. I told him I would get a happy birthday wish to him. So if we could all wish him a happy birthday, he's watching at home. Big 3-0 today. He's an old man. So let's get some old man pings in the chat. Thanks very much for watching, folks, and have a great night.